Luna Rose, what's popping?
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How's everybody else?
We
They
good. We
doing all
good.
right. They were doing all right
Good,
until you
good.
started super chatting.
Hey, I'm just gonna tell the truth every time.
So, what you want to expound on your super chats or your thoughts of what you've been hearing and all that?
I just feel like the women on the panel are very entitled and like actively not listening to the men that are speaking, so it's not really a good look for the other women that are trying to gain actual insight and knowledge from watching the panel because it's just like the advice that we're getting from these women is exactly what's going to keep us single. So I just feel like if we have women on the panel that are not giving good advice, then what really can we do with that as young women? Like coming from a young woman who is like looking for older women to get advice from, but there's literally none that are not trying to compete or not trying to one up us or give us big sis energy. I don't know. I just feel like we need a new group of women, or if the women want to stay on the on the panel, to just be more open minded and not immediately shut down when their ego gets bruised by a fact.
Mm, damn it.
Now, what did she say that was her? Yo, I ain't, yo, all the men mute, everybody mute. I'm mute. Everybody mute.
What was my bad advice? That's what I want to know. That's why I'm laughing.
Um, I mean, it's not really. I'm not about to sit here and like point fingers if people can't
But
come
you
to
just
the
pointed
self
three.
realization of their flaws. But it's like, as far as love saying that women are the prize and that there shouldn't be a sense of urgency. I mean, it's like I
That's not what
see.
I said, though. That's not what I said, Luna. I didn't say that.
Well,
I
I'm
didn't say
sorry.
there shouldn't be a
You
sense of
said it
urgency.
wasn't. You said it wasn't good to be desperate and make desperate decisions.
Correct. I
But
did say that. Mhm.
Right.
if as women, actually as black men and black women, we can all bear witness to countless numbers of black women in our family remaining single just because of their stubborn behavior and their standards. So, I mean, it's just like that's why I said we would ask our aunties, because you giving the auntie energy of like, this is what I want and I'm gonna steadfast in that. But it's like you gonna have a hard truth to accept that you're never gonna get what you want because you're not making no exceptions for the man. It's like, how 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 can you want a Bentley but you can only afford a Malibu?
I could have sworn I said that an adjustment of standards is necessary. I
Hold
did
on,
say
let's do
that.
this. Let's do this now. Because she's talking to love specifically. Let them have the conversation, and then you
All
can
right.
remake that point, Kelly. All right, just so it be
Cool
clean.
beans.
So, Luna, I'm not sure of what your point is saying Bentley going for the Malibu. How does that relate to what I said? Anything of what I said?
Um, it was just a metaphor I was using to
Hmm.
bring light to the fact that as an older woman, you have fewer options than me,
Hmm.
and you kind of have.
I think you cut off.
She probably got
Luna.
a phone call.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
oh.
got messages coming through.
Luna, can you hear me? I can't hear you. You did come back, but that phone call knocked your audio out. I'm gonna drop the link right now for you. Just hit it and come back in.
All right, I can hear y'all now.
Oh, there you go. Go ahead.
I need to repeat. Y'all ain't hear that.
Nope.
Okay. Um, I was just saying that I was using that as an analogy to point out the fact that you have fewer options as a older woman, so you would have to then do some self reflection and become, God forbid, a bit more subservient to then become desirable to the man that you want. Meaning the standards that you have, you kind of have to lessen them if you want a man.
What standards did you say? What standards did you hear that I said I had?
I heard you talk about how, well, to me it was really like you was giving these like extremes about baby daddies and things of
No,
that
but what
nature.
standards did I say that I wanted? When I talked about what I did not want, I also talked about what I did want. And what was that? Did you hear what I said about what I did want?
I believe I heard you said that you wanted a man that was integral and you wanted a man
Mm-hmm.
that was good with his finances
Mm-hmm.
and things of the nature.
So
If
with
I'm
just
missing
those two,
anything.
so with those two, and you're right, I did say those two. A couple of things too, but I definitely said those two. So with those two, you feel I need to go for less than those, for less than that, or that's too high of standards?
I'm not necessarily saying it's too high of a standard, but I'm saying along with the behavior that I've witnessed from countless times watching the panel, I just don't think that it's wise to add standards on top of your behavior.
And so, as I've stated previously on this podcast, how I interact off this podcast is very different
But how do we
than
know that?
how, because I'm saying it, how
But
I
I can
interact.
tell you I'm purple,
Because
but I'm
well,
clearly
let
white.
me answer your question. Let me answer your question fully. How I behave on this podcast in a debate forum, challenging men, is totally different than how I approach men in my dating life.
But
Very different. And
okay,
also, the men that come in this chat and on this panel, they be in my DMs because they want to get to know me better. Because they understand that this is entertainment and they understand that I am much more than what I am on this podcast.
I would just like, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's like if what we get from you on the panel is you challenging men, your words, not mine.
Mhm. Yeah,
Why
exactly.
wouldn't we then assume that you challenge men in the dating scene?
Because men in the dating scene don't come up here and say, I want to smoke with you. That's not how real life works.
But
No
from
man
what
that
I've
wants to
seen,
date me, hold on, what no man that wants to date me is gonna come up to me off the break and say, I want to smoke with you. That does not happen when a man wants to date. So that's not even realistic. And you're comparing apples to oranges at that point.
uh I mean, I guess it's just like I just think you should treat every man with respect. And then when I see men who have literally not asked to have smoke with you at all, just like stating their opinions, thoughts, feelings, and then you challenge them, it's kind of
Yes,
hard to believe that you wouldn't challenge a man.
I'm definitely going to challenge a man if they ask me something and I disagree with what they're saying. But I'm not going to be on a panel, on a show that I'm asked to be on, and just be boring and say, yes, you're right, you're right, you're right, especially if I don't believe that you're right.
I
So
understand.
you can equate this to how I interact with the man that wants to date me. I think that's kind of a foolish sentiment to have, to think that I would behave this way in
Hmm.
real life when I'm dating a man. And so back to the standards that I said that I do want in men, I'm not settling in that. I'm not going to delineate or fall away from me wanting a good financial manager, me wanting a man with integrity, me wanting a man that can communicate, me that wanting a man that's spiritual, me that wanting a man that we're going to build together. Those things I'm
Hmm.
saying are important to me. Hype's not important to me.
Hmm.
What's not important to me is that you got
He
swag
didn't,
or
he didn't
riz
reply.
or whatever. Go ahead.
Can I can I point out the fact that it is like a law that we attract what we are. So if you're not attracting that man already, that means there's an internal conflict taking place that you have to resolve in order to attract that man. And that's a fact.
I actually do attract men that I want. I just want
So
to tell
why you
y'all
don't
all
got
my
one?
business. I do have one actually. I just want to tell you all my business.
But you
I do
want to know
have.
everybody else's business?
I don't tell you all my real business because people on this YouTube are crazy and they're weird. But I'm definitely involved.
In okay. Okay. I mean, that's really it. I was just trying to see if maybe
So let me ask you this: are you in a relationship right now? Or are you
yeah,
dating?
yes, I am.
And what is the status? Are you seriously dating, or are you
Wait,
just casual
hold on.
dating?
Before you even finish this, I want to know how you don't tell people about your personal
Luna, can you hear me? I know you don't want to smoke with me, so let me change the screen. I already
I
sniggered
do.
snow.
Come back. Come back. Come back.
You
Come
don't
back.
want-
Come back.
I,
Come
I
back.
see.
I ain't scared. I
I
ain't scared.
see.
Come back.
I see your lip quiver when I was up there. I know you don't want no
Come
smoke.
back. Come back. Just smoke me and you. I got
You already
15
know,
minutes
man.
smoke. I got 15 minutes to give you smoke.
Can I just
So,
really?
so love, is
I'm
this
sorry.
not you? This person that we're seeing, is this not the real you?
As I've
AFR,
communicated.
what's up, AFR?
Hey, what's up, Risky? Nice to be on a panel. I just have to say this. It's very hard for me to believe Love is not the same person she shows on here that she shows like men and like her every day. I'm not trying to throw shade or nothing, but it's just very hard for me to believe that if a man says a certain particular thing to you, Love, you're not going to wild out on him. So I'll just say that.
I'll drop the link again for her. What was that question just posed to Love? I want to get that answered, then Gunny can jump in.
He said it. What version is love is this?
And just to be clear, he said that off of what AFR was saying. Like, it's hard to believe that you're different in person than as opposed to online. And Trey said, what version is this exactly?
Yeah. So,
right.
Yeah. So again, I'm not approaching dating the same way I'm approaching this podcast. I don't do it. That's ludicrous to think that I'm going to talk to the men that I'm interested in with smoke. And when I say I'm involved, I do talk to different men. I do. I'm not having sex with them, but I'm talking to them, getting to know them. That's a part of dating. That's dating. I'm talking to different men on the phone, and it is what it is. So I am attracting men. And I think Trey said something real slick in the back. A couple of things he said in the back, but I'm gonna let him, be great if that's what he feels he needs to do, to sit there and try to make corny jokes. But it is what it is. It's just, you have to understand, it's different dating than I am on a podcast. That's just plain and simple.
What did I say that was slick?
I think it would
What
be
did I
helpful.
say that was slick? I said if the dudes is in your DMs, call them out.
No,
I don't believe
I'm
you.
not calling. No,
I don't believe that dudes.
You're being very foolish and
so silly.
No, I'm not doing that. You're foolish and you're silly. You're being a child now. I'm not calling out any men now. And what would that serve?
Okay,
what purpose would that serve for me to call out a man that's in my DM? I don't care what you think.
I think you're lying.
You can all day long, and you can sleep well at night thinking I'm lying, and I'm gonna sleep well at night
will.
not lying.
I will.
So
I think you're lying. I don't think anybody's sliding in your DMs.
I mean, y'all saying that, but in the end of the day, love is a woman out here like everybody else, and so there's going to be, no, regardless of who it is, there's going to be someone who's going to want to talk to her. She's a woman with good, information that she wants to give out. She's nice. It looks like to me, regardless if she disagrees with you. You don't know how she is. Like, when someone wants to get to know someone, they're in their best state, right? At the end of the day. So I don't think that she's lying that someone's trying to talk to her. There's probably lots of men who want to talk to them. Guys out here talking to everybody and anybody. So, I mean, I'm not saying she's anybody and everybody. What I'm saying is the idea that no one's trying to hit her up. Now, that does sound ridiculous. But maybe you wouldn't want to hit her up, and that's okay. But don't tell her that no one's going to hit her up. That sounds ridiculous.
That's just his mentality is just very low for him to sit there and say, I think that you're lying, call their name out. That proves nothing. I can sit there and make up a name and you wouldn't know. So I think
you can make up the fact that people are in your DMs too.
But Trey, what does that prove to you? I don't have to prove anything.
You're the one who made the statement. I'm just asking you to substantiate.
Exactly.
Say, okay,
I am not going to name your name.
Just give us
grow
one
up,
person.
Sir, just
give us one person.
So,
That's corny. That's corny. Trey, you corny, dude. You're a corny guy, bro. You just a corn.
Great.
Ball.
At the end of the day, you're a liar.
Man, come on,
you're
bro.
a liar.
Don't embarrass yourself like this.
Let me read this.
Nobody's checking for you like that. You ain't got it like that.
You sound cute.
Let me read the super chats real quick. So
Stop
just
representing men like that.
Just to help out real quick. Osa actually came on the live stream and said it himself that he DM'd her. So he actually said it on the live stream himself. That's why I'm using that. That's why I'm telling that one, because he said it a week ago that he DM'd her and she didn't respond. She said she didn't see it. Who knows?
Right. So now
Now,
corny ass, ugly ass Trey. Now you feel better
now, there's one thing though, love, that we have to also be fair on, right? Is the show where I asked the question, why are we not getting approached? You guys hit me with a honey bun and said you are getting approached, but also admitted that it's not by the men you want. So we got to be fair in that, because we don't want to double talk here today and not use all the information. So I brought out the Olsen thing. I also have to clarify that point as well.
That's fine, but for me to sit there and say men are him, he just showed how immature he was. Him, like even sitting there saying, "I think you're lying," and this and that. Nobody's hitting you up, and da-da-da. Like it's just a really low brow conversation. I shouldn't even allow myself to even go in the mud with him because
you came right on.
Can I address love really quick? That's something that will help the conversation.
I got your cap, love. I got your cap right here. I don't believe you either.
I need to read the super chat real quick.
The chat don't believe it.
Omar Smith with the $5 says, ask about paternity tests, ! Or is there marriage between them purely sexual? I think he asked him, Miss Polly. I don't think they know who the daddy is. Marcus Evans with the $2, and they don't care. I like Luna Rose. Keep her, brother Hamp. Well, I just met her, but I see if she can come back. I also sent my email. She's back now. She's trying to get her phone straight. She probably got an Android. Walk the Talk with the $2 says, old women playing young games. Yeah, that was at 237. Therese, what up though? With the $2 says, I agree with her. He was talking about Luna Rose. And then Shan Brewer with the $10 was popping. If love, quote unquote, would stop rolling her eyes, she may find a man! ! No way you can do that every time you disagree. I'm new to the show, and Hamp, love how you run the show. Support. Thank you. Black America with the $2 says, yes, you're old. You can't get those things. Shan Brewer with the $5 says, love, you lying. No way you can change the way you act in person and in real life. Don't believe that bullshit. Walk the Talk with the $2 says, they want to hit because you older and probably lonely. Love C was popping with the $2 says, can Luna Rose state the advice she'd like to hear? But she's back now. Shady Lawn with the $5 was popping and said, it was stated earlier how huge perception is. This young lady's perception is being ignored. Head 166 was popping with the $5 says, wait, is this entertainment, love? Has me confused. Francisco was popping with the 20 ball says, Hamp, happy holidays to the taken, the looking, and the lonely.
Shit like that.
Stepping Wolf with the $5. Damn, shots fired. Hunt Inc with the $2 says, love is cool. Hank the Basement with the $2 says, my bad on the spelling, Hamp. I'm driving. But you tell everybody that. Walk the Talk with the $2 says, she turns her femininity on and off. Oh, brother. Stepping Wolf with the $2 says, stop the cow. Shan Brewer with the $10 says, no, men just talking on her phone for months without sex, so stop it. If you talking to different men, that means you having sex. Men not just hanging around because you make good conversation. Laugh out loud. Kev, appreciate you with the 20 ball. He says, this is the quote unquote, let me be on my best behavior while the cameras are on version of love. But let someone start saying something that she doesn't like. Ellipsis, the eyes roll, condescension, over talking, sneak dissing, and semantics. Here for the T with the $5 says, the chat is moving at the speed of light. Can we slow it down? Yes, I can. The dating pool roast with the $2 says, men are delusional about us. Danielle Carson with the $2 says, don't make decisions out of delusion either. Lauren Mack with the $2. Love, drop your IG so I can send you. I can send you memes all day. Fuck, don't send me no meme. Blacks with the $5 says, stop the Android hate. Those Androids are better quality of person. All right, let me do this. There was some questions. I know Gunny wanted to get in, but I know Love got a quick meeting. I hope they cancel it at 3:00 so we can keep on rolling. You feel me?
Rich, my point. I just want to say this one thing, and I'll shut up. Ladies, is the femininity a switch or is it a dial? That's all I want to know.
So really quick, love. I think that Luna made I think she made some great points, and I think that you're addressing her based on who you are in real life. I obviously know your real name, but you're addressing her from that standpoint instead of addressing her from the show personality, the person that you are online. I think if you address her from that point, I think we can get some leeway in the conversation between you two. So that's my point.
Oh, and if I just quickly, because I know, because I got to run a race in a little bit. Oh,
go ahead.
Luna? Okay, well, I was saying because Luna made that. Luna made, I don't know what got comments made, but I know nobody really knows me in depth like that anyway. But when it comes to, like you said, the younger ladies out here giving advice to them, there are women out here trying to give advice. It's kind of like, who are you looking for the advice from, and what are you trying to do with the advice? Like, what's your intent yourself? If your intent is to be married, then obviously you should seek someone who's married and have advice from that person. As a young lady coming on a stream, when you're talking to most women who are a little bit older, things like that, you may not be getting the advice that you are seeking because you're not seeking it from the right person. And I mean, and that, it doesn't mean that you could ask for her experience when she was younger or whatever, and you could do that from all of us, but it's not going to be the advice you're looking for right now because she's had experience. Now she's going to school you on what she learned through her experiences. So if you're looking for someone to give you advice about that kind of stuff, like what will happen if I don't make a good choice by the time I hit 30? Well, let's ask. Let's see what's going on. But the intent right now, it just sounds like you just don't like how she actually, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't agree with all stuff Love says. And that's fine. Because I myself I don't agree that I think you're right. There's a wall. I think we gotta prepare for that. I'm very I never had an issue finding long term. Never had it. It just doesn't exist for me. So what I'm saying is that seek the advice from the people that you need to seek it from, because right now it just sounds like you don't like what you're saying.
You said it was quick. Now you said it was quick. God,
I apologize. I'm gonna run away. Jeez, I gotta go to work.
It'd be easier with my phone.
Okay.
Thank God, Chain Gang.
Fuck work. Listen, man. Listen. Let me call the. All right, hold on. I'm trying to get Luna before
Damn
she
it.
got it. All right, Luna, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I had to trade phones.
All right. I'm gonna kick this one from the studio. Love, do you remember that question? Now, Love, why don't you just call sick out that meeting, my nigga?
Because there's issues that we have to fix before the holiday.
Working that slave shit, and I ain't made shit. Okay. I don't got those type of problems, like it'd be like that. Do you remember the question you asked?
I believe the last question I asked her was she casually dating multiple people, or she seriously dating one person? I think that's the question.
I'm married.
How long have you been married? I gotta go, y'all. 3 seconds. Congratulations. All right, nice talking to you, Luna. Thank you, everybody on the panel. It was a great conversation. See y'all later on tonight. Peace out.
All right, love. Be good.
Love will be back once you get that meeting together. Usually, depending on the holidays, she may or may not. So Luna, there was a good. What's up, Savage?
I just wanted to point out, because it wasn't able to be addressed. How is it that the love in real life is separate from the love on the internet, but yet the dudes on this panel are incels and gay and hate their wives and can't yell at their wives and can't talk to their wives and don't get women because of how they act on the panel, but love can almost stab you in the neck through a conversation on the internet, and
she got niggas in her DM.
So Luna, there was a question asked. What do you think the older women should be telling the younger women?
I'm gonna put it one of two ways. One, it's really nothing they can tell us because they too far off. They too far gone themselves. And two, for the ones that aren't, we need to hear exactly the opposite of what everybody is telling us. We need to hear that the men are the prize. Women need to be submissive to their husbands, and that's just that. Because this whole we got leeway and we can have standards, and a man's supposed to be submissive to me, and this, that, and the third. I wear the pants in a relationship. That's exactly why our women are single. And it's just sad. Like, I feel like if older women could really truly self-reflect, then they could then give us advice. But older women, mental health don't get better. Mental health just get worse. So it's like they pass the point of redemption to then have a self-reflection that is worthwhile to give us advice. But yeah, like I said, I just would like older women to really prep us for marriage in a true sense, not in a fairy tale sense. Like, we can just sit around looking good, being fuckable but not desirable, and then a man will then wife us up, because that's not how it works.
Do you seriously
If
believe
that
that
was
women
clear enough.
shouldn't have standards?
Say that one more time.
I said, do you seriously believe that women shouldn't have standards?
I believe
No, it's
that,
cold.
okay, let's just look at how society works. Every woman got standards when it come down to publicly talking about her standards. But if you look at her real life situation, she was just gonna fuck the nigga with a big dick. So it's like the standards really don't mean nothing. It's like a facade, a mask.
Well, I'm not asking you whether or not they stick to them. I just asked you, do you seriously believe that women shouldn't have standards?
Nah, because I feel like standards gonna keep you further away from the goal, and the goal is to get a man.
So any, meeny, miny, mo. It don't matter.
That ain't. It's like y'all hear what people say. It processes through one ear, and then it gets like mind fucked, and then spit out to some shit that was not said. Like,
I'm asking you a question based off of what you said.
women should not have standards, no, because that keeps them away from the goal, which is getting a man. Do you think
So
a
does
man
it matter
want?
the type of woman? I mean, does it matter the type of man that she picks?
No, because a man should pick her. That's the point.
Well, she has to say yes. You don't just take a proposal just because someone asked you to.
But what's the point there?
Yeah, but I'm
Luna, we're trying to
What's
understand.
the point?
You have to explain that point. You're saying that women shouldn't have any standards. Maybe it's something that we're just not getting. You have to explain that.
I'm saying women should not have standards the way we're talking about them. As far as like, it's all these boxes that they have to check. Like I said to Love, you attract what you are. So as a woman, if you have these standards and you're not even attracting that man, that means that you don't live up to the standards that you are requiring of another person. Therefore, if you want a man, you have to let go of those standards and let a man vet you. Because let me just say this. If a woman is vetting a man 10 times out of 10, the nigga ain't shit, and then she go just turn around and be mad. That's why the men should vet the women. But they not getting vetted, so they mad.
I'm not asking you about several different panels that have gone on over time. We just in this pocket right here. Okay, that's
Nah.
it.
Oh no, I can't let y'all do that. She's not saying anything outlandish or incoherent. What she's saying needs to be addressed. What she just said needs to be addressed directly. She ain't talking about a bunch of panels. She's talking about what she heard and why she's saying standards need to be dismissed and you become the best woman you can, and that way you attract what you are. That's what she's saying.
But I also said as well that if you're not getting what you want or whatever like that, then standards do have to be adjusted. I did say that initially. Maybe she didn't hear it or something.
But that's the
Maybe
problem. Women want.
Excuse me?
Desires just call for more desires. It's like a never-ending thing.
Not necessarily.
Necessarily.
The standards are off base.
Gunny,
that's what she's saying.
Yeah, that's what she's
My
saying,
bad.
Gunny. We try to clarify. Callie know what I said. And you know what? If we know what Luna said, they know what Luna said.
Facts.
They just don't want to hear it.
But she didn't say anything that I didn't say earlier.
No, she's saying something. She's not saying what you're saying.
She's saying something totally different.
I said earlier that if you are past the, certain age, whatever, and you did not get the results that you wanted, then standards needs to be adjusted. That's what I said.
No, that's the problem. It should be no standards from the young age. That's why you end up looking dumb at the old age, because you have the standards from the young age. You program yourself to always have standards.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to have standards.
Okay, but let me ask you, how far has that got you?
As well.
Can I ask you how far your standards have got you in a real life situation?
In a real life situation, they've gotten me a 20+ year relationship resulting in 17 years of marriage.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm just saying, but if you married, that's cool and all, but we're speaking for the women that's not married at all and their standards not getting them nowhere.
Well, right. That's why I said that standards needs to be adjusted, but you don't just pick anybody just because they looking at you. No, you have to be compatible with the person in order to go on ahead and have a successful long-term relationship. You don't just take whatever breezes by your way.
But again, like I was saying, that's also one of the problems is women shouldn't be picking the men. The men should be picking the women, but there are slim pickings because women don't want to become the best versions of themselves. They want to focus on forcing a man to become what they are not. So can I also ask, what was the standard you have for your husband?
He had, well, being that we did marry young, he didn't have a whole lot of resources and stuff like that. But I expected him to have some kind of ambition, have focus, be dependable, stable, like, keep your word type thing. Don't say things that you don't mean.
But these are intangible things, therefore not being a standard.
Well, that is my standard because a man has to stick by his word. So don't blow smoke up my ass and tell me you're going to do one thing and you do something different.
Yeah,
I don't really have nothing else to say because I feel like it's a running and tickles type situation. Like, I'm not really being heard.
No, you're being heard. I'm just trying to let you.
God damn, they done dropped Kalibev off, man.
That's from a woman. Sheesh.
But damn, I think they were having a conversation. But well, Callie can come back in 10 minutes, so she'll be back at 3:18. Let somebody bring her back. Let me get through these super chats real quick. Give me a second, please. Let me read this one. RNCJ at GSU with the $5 says, I wonder who gets more DMs, Luna or Love. DM equals booty calls. Kenny 3 stacks with the $5 says, AFR look like Luigi in that green. Bet Life with the $10 says, I'm good at reading women. Whether y'all want to believe it or not, Love is a sweetheart that's posing. I believe her. She is not like this in real life. She's pretending for the show. You think he sent her a DM after he sent that?
Probably.
John the Baptist with the $5. Love, if you had a man making 35 grand, she could have missed that meeting. Eugene still with the $5 says, when I meet a woman, there are two questions to consider. One, does she meet my standards? Two, do I meet her standards? This is like rolling the dice. Marcus Evans with the $5 says, hold up. Is Luna schooling Callie right now? Man. LaShawn with the $5 says, are you saying the standards may be too high and or not in touch with reality? I think that's what she's saying.
Yes.
And so Chocolate Bunny $10 said Callie gotta go. Hank with the $5 says, Love, I'm still waking up in cold sweats from last Tuesday's POV show. Man. Jeffrey Mason with the $5 says, that girl Luna spitting. How many exclamation points is that? Damn. T.O. with the $2 says, why y'all attacking the truth teller like this? John the Baptist with the $5 says, not one time has a lady said to Luna, who hurt you or your mama black, and Luna has listened and learned from men and given it back to the lady. Heathen Queen.
Hey. Oh, you hear me?
Yes, man.
Yeah, you good.
What's popping?
Hey.
Now,
into the discussion.
I don't know if you've ever played Street Fighter, but Luna is like Belrog on hard, if you know what that means. That nigga don't use his feet, but he's almost impossible to beat. Do you want to go in the ring with her?
What's the question?
Do you want me to put a ring on her? Or you want to keep it like cordial like this?
What's the question?
Did you hear what she was saying? Do you disagree with her?
That women shouldn't have any standards?
She gave context, but and also about the wall and etc. and why. And she's saying older women's advice is terrible nowadays to younger women. You been here the whole goddamn show?
Right. No, I haven't really. I just walked in. I believe that women should have some kind of standard, because you just don't walk into a room and say, "Out, that guy picks me," and I don't have any kind of attraction or any kind of affiliation with this person. But women these days, I will tell you, women these days, the standards are so rigid, you're not going to get anywhere with those standards being as rigid as they are. Okay? I will say that, because I had a conversation with a young lady the other day. I don't want to marry him if he doesn't this, and this. I said, yeah, but what are your results though? And I told her my story. What are your results compared to the standards that you have today? Right? He's got to make this amount of money. He got to work this job. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. I don't argue about whether you need to not have standards. Everybody has to have standards. You have to have something that you're attracted to. I'm not attracted to old men, so I have to have some kind of standard, right? So everybody has to have a standard. The whole point is your standard getting you the results that you want? And if the standard is not giving you the results that you want, then you need to adjust that standard, right? Depending on the time frame that you want to be married, that you want to be in a relationship. Okay. Now, I decided early on when I was 23, that I wanted to be married and have kids when I was young. I didn't want to be old chasing a kid around the yard at 50, right? So therefore, I adjusted my standards to what the situation called for. He wanted to get married. He wanted to do this. He wanted to have kids early. Okay, we agree. But ladies these days are not like that. Ladies these days have been taught by women my age that they need to prioritize school. They need to prioritize the wrong things. I'm not saying something is wrong with you going to school. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is there's two different tracks. There's the marital track, and then there's the employment track or the professional track. You need to be rolling with both of those. You need to be rolling hard with both of those if you want to get married and prioritize marriage early. Now, older women who have not gotten married have put children first. Thought children were the priority as opposed to being married. I can deal without a man. I can do this without a man. I can live without a man. When you put those kind of things first, or you just plain ugly, I don't know why a woman. I don't know why a woman wouldn't get married these days. I don't understand why she would not. Not saying it has to be a priority. What I'm saying is there's no reason for a woman not to get married these days, unless you're in the way of yourself getting married. Unless you're saying to yourself, I don't want to be married. I don't want to be married when I'm 30, or I don't want to be married this or that. There's no reason not to be married, right? That's the way I look at it. Okay, so every person has to have every person has to have standards. They do. But don't let those standards be so rigid that if you have 10 things that you have a standard by, you have 10 things you want on your list of men, and they got 10 things and they meet 8 of them, you need to be running with that 8 instead of worrying about that 10. Okay. Now, I heard you say something earlier about garbage man, right? I married a garbage man and I got 3 degrees. A garbage man and I got 3 degrees. I did not worry about what he made or how he made it. We saw each other. We were attracted. We ran with that. It wasn't a matter of, oh, well, you don't make enough money for me. That wasn't how it was. I made 3-4 times what my husband made. I didn't pay that no mind. That was the man that I wanted, regardless of what he made, right? I had 3 degrees. He barely made it out of high school. I did not look at him and say, you're barely out of high school. I don't want to deal with you. You don't meet my standards. I didn't say that. I looked at him and said, this is the person I'm finna run with. And we ran for 30 years together till he died. So I'm not on the opposite end. I understand what the young women are saying these days, but I also understand that your results, your standards are not getting you what you want. Now, what if I would have said, he's a garbage man, I'm not looking at him. He isn't as educated as I am, I'm not looking at him. I'm taller than my husband. My husband was 5'8", I'm 5'10". What if I would have said, I'm not dealing with him because he's too short? But yet,
how you used to talk to that nigga though?
Huh?
How you used to talk to him though? Do you think that you wanted to be in control?
No, he was not that type of man. He was not that type of man. You could never buck up to this type of man. He just commanded the room when he walked in the room, and I saw him, and he was the one. Regardless of where he came from, I didn't ask him what he made, how he made this, that, and I didn't ask him any of those things.
Okay, so you think Luna's correct?
Yeah, to a certain extent. You have to have standards.
All right, go ahead, Luna.
I just wanted.
My bad, Cal, I got you.
I just wanted to see if we could point out the fact still that a man makes the decisions on marriage and not a woman. Like, I'm sorry, trying to read your Miss Queen. Can you agree that you had to make yourself desirable in order for your husband to want to marry you, and it wasn't you marrying him? You had to make yourself desirable in order for him to choose to marry you.
Well, men are the ones who choose the marriage.
Right, but I'm just asking, like, just to prove the point, you have to make yourself desirable in order to be chosen, correct?
Yes, but not necessarily. But they have to want to get married. But if they want to marry you and you're desirable, they will marry you.
Exactly. I'm just saying to say, we're just breezing over the fact that, like, the way we're talking about it is like women have a say in marriage. But really, we have to become desirable in order to be picked to be married.
Right. Women do not really have that much of a say when it comes to marriage. It's his decision. You can say yes, but what if he never asks you to marry him?
Exactly. And that's my point. If he never asks, the women then have to realize that's a problem on my part because I am not desirable. But I feel like the women on this platform cannot accept that fact that they are not desirable. So that is why they are not getting vetted.
Whoa, I ain't trying to do no fighting words. I'm just saying I ain't doing no fighting words. I'm saying there's an issue with your standards if they don't want to marry you. There's an issue with whatever you're
making them undesirable because of their standards.
Okay, she said that.
It's not fighting words. It's just a truth.
We're wrong with what she said.
I understand. Let me get some order real quick. My brother Steph Wolf said 20 boys at Hamp. They mad she cooking.
Wow. Shit like that.
All right, so Kalibev was brought back. She now got a $40. All right, so it's that time in the show. We've been cooking for 3 hours. This has been a great conversation. If y'all want to extend it for an hour, me and Love would appreciate the support to the Cash App. It could be a crowd fund of $60. We can keep this shit rocking. We've been fluctuating between 550 and 640 people. I'm sure we can make that shit happen. You feel me?
Hey, risky. White man's Christmas done got people's pockets, and you know what I'm saying? Come on.
I told them niggas leave that Christmas shit alone. I told them. Hey man, it'd be like that. You know what I'm saying? I'll just see everybody tonight. You feel me? Vet Life 81 with the $5 says, LOL, no Hamp. I didn't send her. All right, I didn't send her a DM. I'm married, fam. No doubt. I think I knew that too. RNC with the $5 says, need a discussion between Heathen Queen and Love on standards and results. Well, Love will be back, though. Love will be back. You know what I mean? So before I let Uncle Rick jump in, Uncle Tom was popping, American First Rifleman. Let me just see if we can get this extension popping, because I know there's a lot more to be discussed. You feel me? Damn. So, man, Callie, you can fill the time for a second. Go ahead.
Okay. How I think about this in my brain is this: preferences are aesthetics, but standards are dealing with someone's character. So if you have good character, then, you know, I'm thinking that there is more to work with that person as far as having a more healthy relationship, because, you know, you guys are kind of on the same page, right? That's your value system, your character. But aesthetics comes and goes. It's not anything that's necessarily vital to having a successful relationship.
Say it again.
Basically, preferences are elective, but standards are your core classes, because that deals with character. But preferences are all aesthetics.
Okay.
You're talking about as far as you looking towards the man?
Correct.
Okay. I think that's maybe one of the problems that Luna is having, just from my perspective, listening from both Heathen Queen and from Kali. You're talking from the perspective of, I'm looking at the man. I'm looking at the man instead of the man looking at you. That's what I'm hearing. And I think that's what Luna's hearing. And what I think she's saying is that you're not the one that's choosing anything. You're the one that has to be chosen. But the way you tell the story, I'm 5'10", he's 5'8", I make 3 times more money than him, he's a garbage man, you know, preferences. You're telling it as if you're the one making the choice, but you're not.
Yes, correct. That's exactly what I'm saying.
But I still have to choose whether or not to say yes or no, and do I want to hitch my wagon to this horse? And
no, you get the option to choose.
My daddy said, do not hitch your wagon to just anybody. So you do have to use discernment.
Yeah, but a lot happens before you have to say yes or no. A lot happens before that.
Right.
What'd you say?
A lot happens before you have the option of saying yes or no.